Alright folks, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Great to see you. It always is. Quarter final time for us. Got 8 of the best lined up for today. We're going to be touching on them very shortly. Before we do, like the video if you would. Get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you're not, I'd appreciate it if you did. You want to support the channel? You want to say thanks? Then say thanks. You can do that by using the tab below. First things first, as always, let me know, did we get anything today? It was quite a rough one today, was it not? I had to go unbeat. Can't really complain too much. It is what it is. I'd love to sit here and use the wrist, the hand injury as an excuse, but you can't. You can't. I feel like Marozsan played a really good game today. It is what it is. You pay your money, you take your choice. I can live with that. Get yourself involved. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you come close? Share with the group. Don't be shy. Barcelona time. Quarterfinals. I tell you what, they never get any easier. The deeper we get into these tournaments, we've got some absolute bangers. Absolute belters set out for us today. First one. It's Garin Khachanov, Davidovich-Fokina. Wow. What a match this is going to be. Yeah, Davidovich-Fokina is quite a decent favourite here. 1.5, just a little bit more, a little bit less depending. I don't know, man. I feel like it's easy to look at this straight off the bat and go, yeah, Davidovich-Fokina is just, he's playing too good at the moment. He's probably going to beat Khachanov, but Khachanov does this, man. Like, he flies under the radar. You never notice he's playing well until it's too late, and then he's in the semis or he's in the final. Admittingly, I haven't seen Khachanov play like this for quite some time. Quite some time. He's had quite a poor season by his standards, 7 and 8 so far. He's been playing better on the clay than what he is on the hard court, which is quite a surprise. Now, Davidovich-Fokina is doing exactly what we know he can do. One of the most informed players on the tour at the moment. We knew it, it kills me to say it, but we just knew. We knew he was going to beat Rublev today. I just weren't brave enough to pull the trigger on it, but we just knew. We knew. I'm not surprised. I wasn't even awake for that game. I come back off a night shift, fell asleep, and I woke up seeing it was straight sets, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense. He's playing good. Playing really good, is he not? But I didn't think Khachanov was going to make it look that easy against Minaur. Now, hindsight to 2020, you'd look at that match and go, well, yeah, Khachanov is a lot better than Jaume Minaur. Not only is he better than Jaume Minaur, you don't need me to tell you that. When Khachanov's playing his best, this guy's better than quite a lot. He's better than, I won't say the majority, but you could probably say the majority. Yeah, he is. He's a solid player, man. He's definitely better than Davidovich-Fokina on his day. We just haven't seen it for quite some time, and to assume that version of Khachanov's going to turn up for the third game in a row and get this one done against Davidovich-Fokina, it's a bit of a stretch, in my opinion. I'd say the safe bet would be to go with Guile. 1.5, it's not bad. The way he's been playing, if he can put Rublev away like that, he's beat better players in better form than Khachanov in the past couple of weeks, so I wouldn't put it past him to get that one done, but I don't know. Khachanov can be a sleeper, man. He's tricky. So we'll move on to Holger Rune, Casper Ruud. Once again, tough one to predict. These have played each other quite a lot since 2021. Casper Ruud fucks this guy up all the time. Holger Rune beat him in Rome 2023, but he lost all 4 games before that, and he's lost the 2 since. Monte Carlo, Bastad, Monte Carlo, French Open. 5 wins on the clay for Casper Ruud. 5 rather convincing wins as well, may I add. And he beat him in Acapulco on the hard court last year. Now, I thought Holger Rune, well, I wouldn't have thought, I think Holger Rune is more than capable of putting a bit of a dent in that head-to-head. I'm surprised he hasn't already done it by now, but you have to admit Casper Ruud is probably a lot more trustworthy and a lot more consistent than Holger Rune, especially this season. Casper Ruud's having a blinder, you know. I can't believe I said it a few weeks ago, and I'll say it again now. No one's talking about this. He's playing such a good season. Such a good season. 15-5 to start off. Holger Rune 13-9. I thought Holger Rune looked really good in the second and third set against Sebastian Baez. That's no joke. That to come back and beat him the way he did, to good mental strength. That good shit, Holger. It's what we need. It's what we like to see. 6-1 and 6-2 after dropping the first set. We like that. The Holger Rune of years gone by easily just would have let that game go by, wouldn't he? And just dropped that second one more likely. Same with Casper Ruud and Medvedev. Now, Medvedev is just the type of person to give Casper Ruud some troubles, and that he did. But just like Holger Rune, he was able to pull that one back. Casper Ruud got that one done in straight sets, considering he was trailing. Fantastic. Fantastic. He had more than enough to deal with Medvedev. Now, you're probably going to get a bit more resistance from Holger Rune across the net than what you do from Medvedev and Daniel Galan. But if that head-to-head's heading to go off, maybe it's just one of them spots. That's a crazy head-to-head. Maybe Casper Ruud can just beat Holger Rune pretty much whenever he wants. Whenever he wants. Always beats him on the clay, apart from that one time. It would be safe to assume that Casper Ruud's probably going to get this one done too. See more of him. Not like we've seen more of him, but what we have seen from him, I've been a lot more impressed with than what I've got from Holger Rune. And he's been decent too, but I'm going to ignore that game against Popperin over in Monte Carlo, and then I'm going to trust in my gut, as I always do. I think Casper Ruud gets it done. I do. 1.6. 1.6 is fine. You know, considering the head-to-head, and not only just the head-to-head, I think Casper Ruud's playing good enough at the moment to beat Holger Rune anyway, so I don't know. We'll wait and see. That would be the way I'd look there. Is that Carlos Alcaraz? Alex de Minaur? Oh, barely 1.2 for Alcaraz here, barely 1.2. That 1.9? Wait, 1.19, 1.18. That's a bit snide. That's a little bit snide. They've played each other 3 times before. Alcaraz has won all 3. One on the clay, one on the grass, and one earlier on this season in Rotterdam on the hard court. That was the final as well. We should remember that. Close game. De Minaur looked like a beast. Absolute beast against Jacob Fernley, but maybe that's just the levels. You know, we had the game against Etcheverry was a lot closer than that. Alcaraz has just been doing what he does. 6-2 and then a tiebreaker against Ethan Quinn. I didn't expect a tiebreaker out of that one, but doesn't really matter. He got it done. And then 6-2, 6-4 against Laszlo Djere. Routine win. Fairly standard, to say the least. Look, it's up to you, this one, and folks, I'm not going to harp on about this too much. Alcaraz probably gets this done. We are out of the round of 16, and I have to remind you, quarterfinals and onwards, this is shit the bed territory for Alex de Minaur. It really is. Just when you think you can trust him, I don't know. He just lacks that killer instinct. I think that not just the killer instinct, and he's playing Alcaraz, so maybe that's not fair to say, but maybe if he was playing anyone else, he'll stand a very good chance at getting through, but I can't see him getting past Carlos Alcaraz. I can't. We've seen him get to this point time and time again throughout the season, not only just this season, but over the years, and I feel like when it comes to the crunch, especially in a moment like this, I don't know whether he's going to be able to rise to this occasion. You will get a massive spread for Alex de Minaur. And you know what I always say about the big spreads, just take it. It's the demon. If you can get 4.5, 5.5, something stupid like that for Alex de Minaur, that's a bit disrespectful. I'd just take that. I really would. As a matter of fact, I'll have a look what the spread is once I'm uploading this video. and if it's pinned, it's pinned. If it's not, it's not. But he played really good against Fernley. If he can maintain anywhere near that level against Alcaraz, he'll cover that spread. He will. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. It shall remain to be seen. And then the last one, over in Barcelona, we've got Tsitsipas and ATP. I think I'm looking forward to this one the most out of the lot. Yeah, I think I am. Odds are very close. ATP opened around 1.7, 1.75. That's it. That gap's closing a lot as we get nearer to the time. Very small dog for Tsitsipas, if you can even call that a dog. He doesn't feel like a dog in this one. He's played each other twice before on the indoor hard court, once last year and then the year before. Both of them going the way of ATP. Close games, man. 4 sets, 3 tiebreakers. Tells you all you need to know. And just when you begin to think that these games couldn't have got any closer on the day, they now face off on the clay. And I don't know what's going to happen on this. Tsitsipas looked really good against Riley Opelka, but we expected that. I thought he put in a solid performance against Sebastian Corda, you know. Solid. You take from that what you will. He played really well. Really well. There was a couple of doubts for Tsitsipas on that one. There was a couple of doubters here and there, but he made that one look easy. He did. He looked in full control of that match. But as for Artifice, though, man, this guy's unbelievable. Artifice has been shit hot all season, the past few weeks especially. Keeps getting to quarterfinals. Keeps getting this far, but this is as far as he's getting, I may add. Got beat by Mensah in Miami, but he ended up winning that. Can't believe Mensah won that fucking Masters. It's nuts, innit? And then he nearly beat Carlos Alcaraz in Monte Carlo in the quarterfinals. He did. Got it done against Carreño Busta, and then he just feasted upon Pedro Martinez. Done both of the Spaniards over in Barcelona, nice and easy. Just going off the head-to-head, I'd say I understand why he's a slight favourite in this. I think Artifici's a bit more explosive than Tsitsipas, this is it. I think he can make him work a little bit more than Tsitsipas may necessarily like to. I don't feel right going against Tsitsipas. After watching him play a game like that, it doesn't feel right going against him, but I know that if Artifice can beat him on the hard court, I feel like he should be able to beat him on the clay. Now, Tsitsipas loves it over here in Barcelona. He loves this European clay. We all know that. I'm worried. Artifice got this far last year. He got to the quarterfinals last year and he got beat by Dusan Lazovic. You know what I mean? Would you be surprised if this version of Tsitsipas just puts him to bed today? No, not at all. I think either one of these for a set is probably the wise choice. It's a nice little piece of pie, if you'd ask me. I think Artifice might beat him, I think he just might beat him. We might just be at the point where Artifice you can just trust him to get this one done. He's went 5-1 on the clay this year. Tsitsipas 4-1 on the clay. Oh, you pay your money and you take your choice, folks. You really do. I don't know who's going to win this. I would lean towards Artifice. I'd love to take it. I don't know. I love both of these. This is a tough spot to be in for me because I'd love to take either one of these. I would. But you know what? I've got Artifice on the outright, haven't I? I forgot about that, but it's true. Still got Artifice on the outright. So maybe, just maybe, I don't really need to take him today, even if I wanted to. I'll think about that. Like I said, either one for a set. You should be mighty fine with that. But we'll crack on to Germany really quick, because I've got another night shift to get onto tonight. So first off, over in Munich, got Cerundolo, David Goffin. How good's Cerundolo been? He's been that good, we haven't even spoke about him because we just haven't had to. He's done exactly what we expected him to do, and that's what we like. Call it 1.3 for the Argentina. Light work, against Struff, light work against Shevchenko. David Goffin barely got past Billy Harris. Very, very impressed that he got past Navone today, but after getting bageled in that first set, to come back 7-5, 6-1, was that just a colossal shitting of the bed from Navone? I didn't watch it, you let me know, but either way, great result for David Goffin there. I can't help but feel like this is the end of the line for this guy. I really do. Can't go against Cerundolo. I wouldn't have went against Cerundolo in this spot any other time in the season, but especially now at this point, you just can't. You just can't. When I was doing my outrights at the start of the week, Francisco Cerundolo was the first one I went for Germany. I just looked at it and went, yeah, all day, I'll have that. He should be getting past David Goffin. There's not much more to be said about it, really. He won both his games in straight sets. He's covered both his spreads. I would imagine he wins this one in straight sets and probably covers this spread too. Why not? Why not? There's not many that are putting in games as well as Francisco Cerundolo over here in Germany, so that one pretty much picks itself for you, I think. And we'll crack on to Luciano Darderi and Ben Shelton. Tough one. Very, very tough. Have these played each other before? I don't think these have ever played each other before. No, they have not. Ben Shelton, very dicey. Very, very dicey against Bonagosho in that first match. Barely got past him. A lot better against Van der Sandschulp, I'll give him that. 10 times better, if anything. I think did he only get broke once? 7-6, 6-3. Yeah, we'll take that. I like what I saw. Luciano Darderi, now that first set against Khachanov, I was very concerned. That did not look good. You have to admit it didn't. But the second and third, he managed to pull his finger out of his arse and just, I don't know what he done or what he found, but that was the Darderi that I expected to come out the gates from the start. We said it the other day, and it's only fair if we say it again. The most informed clay player at the moment, I'd say. I probably wouldn't go as far to say the best, although you could definitely make a shout. No one's had a better run of form on the clay than Luciano Darderi the past few weeks. Back-to-back finals, he lost one, he won one, and he's on for another one here, pretty much. If he gets past Ben Shelton, he's on for another one, man. He'll fancy himself for this. He loves these slow courts. He plays so well. He does. I'm willing to chalk that first set off to complacency against Khachanov, but I think he beats Ben Shelton, you know. I think he beats Ben Shelton. I'm going to sit here and say like Shelton can't break serve because he can't. I'm not going to go on about all that. I mean, let's just go off what we know and what we've seen. How could you go against Luciano Darderi? I was like that. I was a bit sceptical with the Khachanov game, but the reality of it was he was always the sure bet, weren't he? Even if he would have ended up losing that game, no one would have called you a fucking idiot for picking that. And I think it's the exact same in this. I do. I don't think you could talk anyone off taking Luciano Darderi in this. I really don't. Ben Shelton's probably a lot more proven on the tour. We'll give him that. Over on the clay though, not of the sort. Never really had any success at this level on the clay. I'd be willing to bet Luciano Darderi has got enough to figure this one out himself and see himself through to the semis. I really do. Look at the form, man. Look at the form. Even if Ben Shelton's going to be the one to put a stop to this run of form, is it going to be straight sets? I wouldn't have thought so. Take Luciano for this set if you want to play it safe. I think he wins it. He probably could just go out and win this, but I wouldn't be picking that with much conviction, so I'll take him for the set and we'll move on to a nightmare match. Got this one again. But Zverev in Greek sport. Oh, every time, why did he do this to us? Every time we sit here and we have to figure out who's going to win this, whether it's going to be a tight one. It always is. There's probably going to be tiebreakers. It's probably going to go the distance, blah, blah, blah. It's the same stuff every time. We spoke about this at the Indian Wells in March. 6-4 in the first set to Zverev, and then a tiebreaker and a tiebreaker for Greek sport. Head to head is 6-2 to Zverev, which would make you think he's probably got this one in the bag, but something different about this season, man. Zverev's not playing as good as he usually does. Greek sport's playing a lot better than what he usually does too, so I feel like that makes for a volatile mixture in this matchup. Zverev just cruised along. He played good against Alexander Muller, 6-4, 6-1. We'll give him that. And he played decent against Daniel Altmaier too, 6-3, 6-2. I thought Greek sport would have beat the pair of them as well. Although the two of them are really good on the clay, I still think Greek sport is just all terrain. It doesn't really matter where he is. He can put in a solid shift regardless. Smoke Lane at TN was behind a little bit against Yannick Hanfman, but just done his shit. Tiebreaker in the first, you knew he was going to win that. And then 6-3 in the second. Solid. Solid as you like. Now, I'm not going to waste your time, folks, because we talk about this one, well, we've spoke about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times since the start of the channel, and it's the same thing every time. It really is. Take Talon Greek Sport, plus that 3.5 on the spread. Forget about it. Plus 3.5 and just forget. I'd say Zverev probably wins it, but does he? He's 1.2, 1.3 on the decimal, which is what he is pretty much every time. I think that's what he would have been at the Indian Wells. And look how that went. I think Greek Sport's playing well enough to keep this close anyway, so that'd be the way I'd look. And then wrapping us up, we've got Fabian Marozsan, Zizou Bergs. This will be a good one. It'll be a very, very good match. Played each other twice before. Marozsan has won both of these. These actually played each other in qualifying for Monte Carlo last week. That went the way of Fabian Marozsan 6-2 and then a tiebreaker in the second. Good. Very, very good. Like I said at the start, someone even mentioned in the comments as well, like Fabian Marozsan played one of the better games that we've seen him play in quite some time today. It's alright, it happens. Didn't help that Hugo and Bert was just spraying unforced errors everywhere. But you know, that happens too. It is what it is. Sometimes you get on the wrong side of these things. I'm not going to find me crying about that. It's a tough one, this, because out of the two games, both of these I've played over in Germany. One of them have been rather convincing. The other one you can't take anything away. That game against Justin Engel against Marozsan, I mean, couldn't take much away from that. Couldn't take much away from that at all. Justin Engel, as we all know, he's quite young. 2007 he was born, and he ain't been in the best of form that good. Like he just hasn't been in the best of form lately. Not only that, like this kid's like struggling on like ITF and Challenger tours, so can't take much away from that. And then same for Zizou Bergs as well against the Dora the Explorer. That guy. He weren't celebrating today, was he? Can you believe that? Did anyone see what he done after that El Chapo match? How can you celebrate like a tit? Celebrate like a fucking fool like that after someone's just had to shake your hand and retire? I don't know. He's young, we'll let him off, I suppose, but you want to make the sign of the cross on the clay and pretend you're Jesus. Zizou Bergs just fucking crucified that kid today. Crucified him. 6-1, 6-1 was it? Oh yeah. Say something about that. Say, Dora, can you win more than one game in a set? Obviously not. Nah, that's what you get. It is what it is. Fantastic from Zizou Bergs there. Oh, Marozsan's just pasted him last week on the clay. What are the odds? It's just the exact opposite now. Not that much can change in a week, surely. But I don't know. Spots like this, when we have very quick turnarounds in between matches, I would always like to go back to that spot between Luca Nardi and Martin Fucsovics. Remember, Fucsovics smoked him in qualifying, and then they played each other like 2 days later as a lucky loser, and then Nardi just wiped the floor with him. Yeah, that always pops into my mind with stuff like this. Just because he beat him last week doesn't necessarily mean he's going to turn up and beat him today. If he plays the way he did against Hugo and Bert, he stands a good chance. But if Zizou Bergs plays the way he did against Bublik, I'd say he stands a good chance. Then again, wrist injury or not, I'd rate that win against Hugo and Bert a little bit higher than I would against the win against Bublik. So I'm not going to go for it. I don't think I am anyway, but I think I wouldn't call you crazy if you wanted to take Fabian Marozsan around 1.6 to 1.7. I think you should be alright with that. Very well, folks. Very well then. Happy days. Let me know what you're going for. Anything for the baseball, anything for the ice hockey. Please do let me know. Don't be stingy with the picks. I like winners too. But I'll be saying good night to you then. You take care of yourself, yeah? You take it easy. Take care of one another too, most importantly. Let's go get that cash, yeah? Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. We're almost at 920 now. Well, on our way to 1,000. We'll be there sooner than later. I'm sure of that. Okay then. Let's go get that cash, folks. Enjoy the quarterfinals, and I'll see you tomorrow for the semis.